Welcome back to One Step at a Time, hosted by Eufinity. I'm one of your hosts, Arushi.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Sham.
So today we're going to be talking about how music can affect your mental health, how it can help it, and how sometimes it can be can have a negative effect on your mental health. Personally, music has played a really big part in helping me cope with the negative parts of my mental health because I've been a musician since the fourth grade. I'm a drummer. You can probably see the drum set in the back, but um, I don't know, something about just like hitting drums really hardly when you're angry is a better coping mechanism than like hurting yourself or breaking things. And it's just music is just very calming. At least I think so.
That's interesting that you grew up making music. I grew up dancing ballet my whole life. So I was dancing to music. And without music, ballet is just not ballet. So like every single day in our class, we would have a pianist play the piano. And that was my favorite part of the whole class, was that the music was live and I was dancing to it and working together.
So,
And I feel like, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that I did like a little bit of both. Like I was also a music. Well, I played the flute for until 8th grade. I started in like 3rd grade, so it was like really. I loved playing it, and it was really influential in those years. But then I also grew up in like doing I was in Bollywood dance teams for like 4 years, so both of them are kind of balanced out, and it's like it really helped me with like whenever I was angry with coping. Like I just like you can just like how do you describe it? It's just you like when you're feeling mad, you can just like listen to music, or like you can just play whatever instrument you play, and like you don't have to think about other problems. So that kind of helped me with like relaxing and deciding. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think music is such a big part of who I am. And I feel like it just so happens that music has impacted all three of our lives. It's been an influential factor, whether it is in ballet or Bollywood dance team or like just playing an instrument. But there are people who like music, like the only music that they have in their life is like music that they listen to. And that can be just as influential as like playing an instrument. Because like some people express themselves with the kind of music that they listen to. Like I don't know about you, but when I see my friends listening to sad music on Spotify, I'm just like, oh, gotta check in on them because like what the heck.
Yeah, like sidebar. That's why I go on private session.
Oh my god.
But I mean, even other people who didn't grow up dancing to music or listening to music, I think we have to realize that music is literally everywhere in advertisements, like on the streets. You can make music with like beats in your whatever you have around the house. Like music is everywhere, and I think we should all maybe take a chance to realize that it could be considered as a therapy option, like music therapy. And I think there needs to be a lot more study into that because
Yeah, I was gonna say that there was this study. It was like how music can help with mental health, and it's basically music engages the neocortex of our brain. So that part of when like that part of the brain is like engaged through music, it calms people down and like enables like relaxing mood, and it reduces like impulsive behavior and irrational thoughts. So you can also, and that's how like you can use music to like match your mood or how you're feeling, because like it can even like the benefits are that it can help us like cope with whatever like we're feeling. Like if you're sad, listening to sad music can help you cope. But at the same time, it can also like keep you stuck in that kind of attitude. So it kind of goes both ways.
I took a intro to psych class last spring at like the community college, and we had to do a research paper, and we got to pick what we did our research paper on. And like since music is such a big part of my life, I decided to do it on music and how it affects people with MDD and PDD, which is major depressive disorder and persistent depressive disorder. And I think two of the studies that I like, it wasn't like a research study where I would like do an experiment because I'm literally a minor, but it was like where you cite other research studies and like make your own conclusions. And two or like three of the studies were just testing why sad people why people who have depression listen to sad music, and how sad music affects specifically people with depression. And like people like, I don't know, like I don't know if this is a universal thing, like Hannah, Sham, like you tell me, but when you're sad, you're always drawn to listening to sad music. And I don't know whether or not that's because you want to like, elongate the feeling of sadness and just make it last, or if it's, but these three studies, they all had like the same results where it's like, they don't do it. They might like, their reason might be for sadness, but it actually calms them down because sad music usually has a lower tempo, like a more mellow sound. And that usually tends to calm anyone down. And maybe it's like both reasons, but I thought that was really cool because when I went into reading that, I was like, oh, it's going to be because I don't know, because it's relatable. It's not going to be but it's actually because it calms them down. And I thought that was so interesting. And I don't think it just applies to people who have like clinical depression. I think that can apply to anybody, maybe not to like an extreme level.
I think the whole research paper that you did, Archie, is really interesting. I think it also has to do with our heartbeat in a way, like listening to music that matches our heartbeat. So if you think about, even if you look at an opposite, like not depression, but just at like a party, the music that they're playing is like very pumpy. It's like usually fist pumping, and it kind of like brings people together in a happy mood. So I feel like the same thing can happen on the flip side where it's depression, where when you're depressed, you feel really fatigued, your heartbeat is a little bit slower, and you're feeling down. I think it like matches, like you're listening to music that matches your state of mind, or the state of mind that you want to be in, which I think can be like interesting. Like if I am depressed and I want to listen to sad music, maybe music therapy would encourage me to listen to something a little bit more upbeat and happier, because that might help me feel happier. Which is, I think, something that's like really difficult to do, because obviously you don't feel you don't want to listen to happy music when you're sad. But I think that is something that music therapy focuses on.
Yeah, I agree. So since we're like, music therapy is like coming up, if people don't know what music therapy is, it's pretty much like what it sounds. It's evidence-based use of music interventions to accomplish individualized goals with like, and it's different kinds of music. Usually it's upbeat music. It promotes wellness. It tries to manage your stress. It has even sometimes alleviated physical pain. Obviously emotional pain. We all got that baggage that we need. That's the whole reason you're going to therapy. But, and music has also been used to provide and promote physical rehabilitation, which I think is so interesting because like it's music, like there's no chemical that you're putting into your body. You're not taking like a Tylenol and like making your headache go away. But like it's music, and that certain kinds of music, there's not enough research done on this. I agree with you.
I think it's more, it's not like you're taking like a physical substance or anything, but I think it's really interesting, and I don't know much about it either, but music is like an external stimuli, like from our environment, that like our brain will translate into an electrical impulse, and then it like goes back there and does its thing. But like I think music can be medicine, in other words, other than an alternative to a lot of other types of therapies. People aren't going to succeed in talk therapy the same way as they would through music therapy, if that makes sense.
I agree, because not everyone's the same. And at the end of the day, your therapist is also human. So they're also prone to making mistakes. And I've heard so many like negative experiences with like talk therapists. Like one of my good friends, he's had to have like switch his therapist 2 or 3 times just because the therapist is like not good. just because the therapist like doesn't care. And even though that's their whole job, which is a little contradictory, but music can speak to you in a way humans can't sometimes. And I think that's so beautiful. And that sounds so like deep and so like, oh my God, but that's the truth.
I can definitely speak from personal experience. Like, I am going through my own figuring out, trying to find the right person to talk to. And while I'm doing that, like, I have been listening to a lot of music. Like, sometimes it's almost like I can't do anything if there's not music like playing behind me.
Yeah, I kind of need like music in the
like I have these speakers in my room, and my roommates will tell you like I was always playing music, and it would range from like classical to like pop. I had a J-pop phase for like a month. It was so random.
I have a Bose speaker, and I carry that with me everywhere. I'm always playing music. Like after like my dad bought that for me last year for my birthday because he knows like I have a piano in my house, I have a drum set, I have a tabla, I have a lot of percussion instruments in my house, and he knows that I love playing music and listening to music, and I always had my earbuds in. He was like, oh, why don't we just buy her a speaker? And at first they were like, oh, you gotta stop, man, like it's 2 a.m, you cannot be playing music on your speaker. Like that is not how they're used to it now. They don't yell at me anymore because I'm just like
they've like habituated.
Yeah, they adapted to me like blasting music at 2 a.m. And I was like, I mean, go for me. And like that's honestly how I cope with so many things. And maybe the form of music I use might not be the healthiest coping mechanism, because I also think the type of music you listen to can affect your mood. If you actually have a problem, if like you actually have a mental illness like depression, anxiety, ADHD, whatever it is, music is not enough. You need to go get help. Music therapy isn't opening Spotify and listening to your favorite song. Music therapy is when you go in with another person. And like I know I called out so many people right now, but like I called out myself, but like that's the truth.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say with like listening to the opposite of what you want to listen to in order to bring yourself out of a mood.
There's so many different kinds of music. Like, and I think I can say I enjoy all kinds of music, even if I don't understand the language. I personally really love piano music. It really does calm me down. Like if you play the piano to me, like I'll like be on my knees proposing to you. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's such a beautiful instrument and it sounds so pretty, and it just calms me down. And that's me though. That's not going to be the reaction. But I think classical music has that, like,
I think it does too.
Yeah, it just like I like to listen to classical like when I was doing my homework when school is like, because it was like, well, I need music in the background, and this really helped with like, it was just like really calming and like, you know,
it doesn't have any words.
Yeah.
To distract you.
Yeah, I feel like that's like one thing, because like I usually do listen to music when I work, but like sometimes I feel like especially when you're doing like, well, for me it was math, but like whenever I did math and I listened to music with words, I just always lost my train of thought because I was focusing on the lyric instead of focusing on the math. Right. But like, yeah, so that's one way music can be like negative, but classical music is just really good like for me to study and just like when I'm reading or whatever.
I grew up with my dad. My dad, I think, just loves music, and he loves collecting music, and his favorite genre is classical music, which I think is why I went into ballet. But anyway, I just grew up with him constantly blasting classical music, and it wasn't the common kind. It was like it was like the whole orchestra's playing, and it's very like, I don't know, what's a good word?
Vivacious,
dramatic, yeah, all of those.
Oh my god, those words! Wow,
wow.
Dictionary for that.
Yeah, but even watching my dad, like I can tell he uses music to cope, and he doesn't even realize it, because I'll come downstairs, he's not doing anything else but listening to that music, and like I can tell he's indulged in the music, and that's really all he's doing, and it's almost like a hobby for him. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I can say the same thing with my mom, like in kind of a different way. So, you know, so she doesn't play as much anymore, but like, when she's from India, and in India, she used to like, she was really good at like a lot of different Indian instruments, like the sitar, the tabla, and like she was also really good at piano and the violin. So like she growing up, music was a really big thing for her, and she talked about like how she won all these different competitions at her school and everywhere. And even like so when we go back to India and like go to our grandparents' house, like they still have her like entire trophy section dedicated to her, like her singing and dancing and everything. So she was like really artistic, musical, and like dancing and all that stuff. So even like when I was a kid, like that kind of affected me in a way, because even though she didn't bring like her instruments here, she stopped playing, she still like loved to sing. So she'd always sing in the house. And even now, like whenever she's like angry or like upset or like anxious, I always just hear her singing. And it's like, that's just kind of calming.
It's so wholesome.
Yeah,
But it really like makes her happy, and that's what's important.
that's like so interesting, because if you look at it, music is one of the things that can connect everybody.
Mhm.
Because music can be literally anything. Music can be the birds chirping outside. And like people like that. I don't, because 5 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. But like, some people like that because they wake up at 5. And like I think that's so beautiful, because in the world that we have today, everyone is like, there's just so much
Negative.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like separation, but everyone is so like, I would say, closed-minded to their own opinions and their own beliefs, and they're so like stubborn about what they believe in and what they're like, I'm right, and which in some cases can be good, but that also doesn't leave a lot of like ground for everybody to connect on, or for everybody to like be like, oh my god, we have that similarity. And because of social media, so much of that is like everywhere. Like you see all the drama on TikTok, you see everything that's going on, you see like, and it's crazy, but like music is one thing that can even connect generational gaps. Like your parents love, like my dad loves music. My dad's listening to rock music in the car. My mom loves Indian music. She doesn't understand English music. She says they speak too fast for her, but
Yeah, that's like the same thing with me, because I love listening to rap. And then my mom is like, oh, you always listen to rap, but like I don't understand why you like it, because I can never understand what they're saying. And it's kind of like, because sometimes like she wants to like hear what I listen to, and then even when she listens to it, she has a really confused face because she doesn't understand what anybody's saying, but like she just tries to like vibe with it, which I think is kind of cute.
yeah.
I also think rappers, they put a lot of like emotion in their lyrics, like Juice WRLD. So I
Nicki
think
Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. So I think people relate to the lyrics too in a way, because I feel like lyrics are kind of like poems, but most young people aren't really going to read a poem and relate to it. But when you put it in a musical form that's like pleasing to most ears, then I feel like they'll relate to the music and the lyrics. And then it does bring people together, because rappers talk about really dark things in the world.
They really do talk.
Yeah. Which is questionable, like if it's or not, but it does bring like people together.
I think it's so cool that music can, I mean, I don't know about you. Actually, Hannah did actually mention that, like how you probably went into ballet because your dad loves classical music, and that somehow influenced you to, either they made you do ballet or like you picked it, whatever it is, like that influence. My dad's music taste has probably influenced my entire music taste right now. Like he loves like soft rock, like Aerosmith, the Eagles, Bon Jovi, like all that. He loves them. And I've been listening to that from like a very young age. Like my first memories of music is listening to that music. And like I can say that that's brought me and my dad closer, because my dad is a very, I would say, not closed off person, but he always keeps to himself.
Yeah, like introverted.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say introverted. He's always just in his own.
It's like more private.
Exactly.
Like,
And he has these soundproof headphones, and he's always wearing them, and he can never hear what anyone's trying to talk to him. He has no idea what you're talking about. And like he doesn't even care. Like he's just doing his own thing. And like I kind of like that about him, because like he doesn't care about anybody, and that's like so cool. But like since he is like that, that sometimes makes it harder for us to bond. But music is one thing that like we always bond over, because I went to Hoboken once, and if you've been to the waterfront, there's always this one guy playing drum set there. It's
I
just,
know what you're. I think I remember. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it's like I love Hoboken, I love the waterfront, so I go. I know Hannah isn't even from here. I'm sorry, but like it's like yeah, you can see like it's like you can see the perfect skyline of New York City from there, and we we go frequently because I like beg my parents, and I'm like, I want insomnia cookies and I really want to go see the skyline. And she's like, and I was like, we always see this one guy there, and every time we end up going, he plays my dad's favorite song. Somehow he always plays it. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I call my dad Baba, and I'm like, oh my God, Baba, the song, it's playing. And like, my reaction will be like, oh my God, because that's just how I am. And he'll just be like, yeah. And like, he'll just like,
like he'd cry.
Yeah.
Like, tear inside.
Yeah, of course.
I guess we can talk about like the physical effects that music has like on our body, and our physiology. So there's research that proves that engaging with music can activate regions of the brain that influence things like memory, emotions, movement. It lowers the heart rate and blood pressure. It helps us relax muscle tension, releases endorphins, that's kind of a given, and also releases stress and encourages feelings of being calm. And then also I think is interesting is that for young children and adults that do participate in music therapy, they find that they have strengthened motor skills and can improve communication and social cognition in those children that are like maybe struggling or have developmental or learning disabilities.
I think that's so interesting because it's not, again, like we were saying before, it's not like a pill. You don't put it into your body. It's an external stimuli, like Hannah said. And that's crazy that I can do that. I just find the whole thing so like cool. Like, music is always going to be a big part of my life. Like, I already know that, even though that's not like the profession or like the major I would want to go into, it's still going to be a big part of my life. And I think it's so amazing how much it can do, considering it's not like an antidepressant.
Has music helped you guys sleep at all?
My mom is really paranoid with having phones around with you because when you're sleeping, because like I think a couple years ago she heard this story of like a girl whose phone exploded while she was sleeping and she died. So like she sent that on WhatsApp to me. So now she's like really overprotective. So like sometimes I do sleep with music, but she's like, now you have to maintain like a 6-foot distance away from your phone, so if it explodes, nothing happens to you.
I have like a dependency on music now. I mean, I had one before the pandemic started. Like, I would always start my morning blasting on my speaker, like even if it would be like her or like Bryson Tiller, or it would be like SZA, like because like in the morning I'm not listening to like PNB rock, like I'm not listening to rap music in the morning, so like, you know, I need some like chill vibes.
I mean, I think that's why they say like music, like, you know, like I want to set the mood or I want to set the vibe, like,
and there's literally music for every mood / vibe. I have like,
for every person.
Exactly. And I'm like so I was so dependent on it. Like, I would like have my speaker while I was showering, and I was like, I can't function in the morning without music. There was like a point where I like couldn't, and I was like, okay, this isn't the healthiest thing, so why don't I not do this? And like I like stopped, and it sucked for a while, but like then like occasionally I'll have music, but now because of the pandemic I've been playing music 24/7, like during school, outside of school, while I'm studying, while I'm sleeping, while I'm watching TV, music is playing, while I'm talking to my friends on the phone, like music is playing in the background. Even if I'm not focusing on it, there's some type of music playing. I am so scared of what's gonna happen when I
run out of music.
I'm literally gonna go back to school in 2 weeks, and the school that me and Sham go to, we're not allowed to wear headphones.
Like I just had my first day of classes yesterday, so I've been walking around campus. Every single person has their AirPods in. It's just like an understanding that like you can't walk to class without music. And I live like a mile away from campus, and I'm walking, like I'm on the main street, so I'm seeing all these oncoming cars that are filled with like college students my age. So it's like kind of anxiety inducing. I have to have music to listen to like get to class, like just do what I have to do. I have to have music.
There was this one time where I heard that like our principal like grabbed someone's earbuds, like took them to the main office and cut them. They were like,
I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're really.
Because he was like, no, the policy is no earbuds in class, no earbuds in school, and I'm like, you literally like defaced his property. Like you can't do that. Like,
heartbreaking.
What's they're very serious about
like,
it.
To that student, that was probably like getting them through the day.
I know, like the earbuds, bro. Like it'll be in the hallway, and I'm like, who's teaching me in the hallway? Yeah. Who is teaching me? Like, what am I trying to learn in the hallway, bro? But that's okay. That's a good transition. That's how music can be unhealthy. If you get like a negative like dependence on this, like I know music is great. I know we've all struggled with having a dependence on music, but having a psychological dependence on anything, it's like, it's great. Music is great. And it's a great coping mechanism because, you know, you're not hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. You're expressing yourself. But like, first of all, it's not enough. You should still be like journaling. You should still be talking to something. Like, you should still be getting, because like listening to music isn't, I don't even know how to say it. Like, isn't like a full way to cope.
Right.
Or like a full way to manage your mental health, I would say, because you're still not talking about what you're feeling.
Yeah. It's a healthy coping mechanism, but it's not enough because you're still keeping those feelings to yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, like Hannah said, and like for most things, too much of it, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've had, and I probably still do have a psychological dependence on music, which is like not good. But like I'm also in band, so like I'll be fine because like music is like always playing. I also have like tinnitus in my ears because of that. And like, but like it's bad because like there are gonna be times where I don't have music, and oh my god, I just thought this is gonna like convince you guys to like not be dependent on music, because I went to this like cultural camp thing for this like cultural place that I go to, and it's like a week long. It's in upstate New York, and you're literally in the middle of nowhere, right? And the whole point is to like not detach from society, but just to learn more about our culture, more about like Hinduism, more, and like not really be on your phone. You learn how to do like martial arts and stuff too. Like it's not just like oh my god and like stuff like that. It's like I learned martial arts. I learned how to do like bow staff. I learned like you play games, and it's for girls and guys, but they're usually separated. And my friend, so the first 2 days they didn't take our phones away, but then there were like a few girls who ruined it for the whole group because they were on their phones during the day. They didn't mind us being on our phones like at night because no one was doing, but like between like different sessions, like every chance they got, like girls were on their phone, and like that like pissed them off. So they took our phones from them. And my one friend, who also happens to have the same name as me, she had such a dependence on music that she actually like got a headache in the morning because she couldn't start her morning with music. She was grumpy all day because she was like, I have a schedule. My schedule is starting my morning with music. Like even the 2 days we had our phone, she had her earbuds in, and we would have to wake up at like 5 a.m. Personally, 5 a.m. is too early for me to listen to music, but she'd have her earbuds in and she wouldn't talk to anybody until like her teeth were like she would have earbuds in while brushing her teeth. And I was like, I mean, you do you, girl. And like this was the point where I was, and like she was grumpy, she had a headache, she was like, and like she's such a sweet girl. And like it's literally like she was having withdrawal symptoms.
And the music a drug.
Exactly.
That seems like, oh my god, that's still too much. Like
you can have withdrawal symptoms from a person. It's like that. you can be addicted to a person, and if that person is taken away from you, like you will experience withdrawal symptoms. It's like the same thing.
Like
Because
after a breakup or something.
yeah, exactly. Or even if you're not even together, like an
Yeah.
emotional attachment, that's all you need.
No, like when I go driving, the volume is at 30 at least, and my back rear view mirror might be vibrating from the bass. It's
So
like
that's the good thing
how
for
I
me.
will-
So that was like the kind of the good thing for me because, well, not good, but it was like I don't know how, like I just started driving, I just got my permit. And like when I drive sometimes like with my mom or like with someone, so like with my, like an adult, like uncle or somebody, I don't understand like how people listen to music and drive. I don't know if it's new or anything, but like I try to listen to music while I was driving, but I just couldn't concentrate. So that, I think that's a good thing for me. So right now, because
I heard that's like a new driver thing though.
yeah.
Like in the beginning, like it's because you're so concentrated on driving it, but once you get used to it, like you can listen to music.
Yeah, I think I would have a hard time listening to music if I was like focusing so hard on the road. But at this point, it's like I have to. I feel like most people are, especially my age, are that way. I know people that
like all my cousins and everybody, they have to have music in the car when they're driving.
But that's how like that's crazy. Like something as like little as music can have such an influence on our day-to-day lives because you have such a dependence on it, but you don't realize you have a dependence on it
until it causes like such like strong emotions that you don't even realize.
Exactly. Oh my god, I'm a like Hannah. After this, I will send this like there's this piano song. It kind of got famous on TikTok for a little while. It's French, but it's just mostly piano and violin. And like that song is like 2 minutes long, and like it invokes such emotion out of me. I'm just like I think
that's what makes TikTok so addictive is the music, like the catchiness in every single like 15-second
clip. Yeah, song. Now they have like 3-minute videos though.
Yeah, like that's why like I think like those songs get popular, but like the only like not 3 minutes, like 15 seconds of it is popular.
Have you like ever had experience with like those songs on TikTok where like the 15 seconds of it are good, but then you listen to the whole song and like the other parts aren't good? It's just that one part that's good, and it's like really frustrating.
It's a letdown for sure.
What's it called? TikTok also ruins songs. Like,
oh my god,
yeah.
My boyfriend gets so upset. Like he also gatekeeps music and it's annoying, but he gets so upset when he turns on a song. He's like, "Listen to this song, Hannah. It's so good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's really good. Like I heard it on TikTok." he turns it off. He's like, "No, it's
yeah." What's it called? My friend, he stopped using TikTok because he's like, it's ruining songs. Like I can't do this. I think we've talked a lot. So we're going to end it with one tip on how to take care of your mental health, which clearly by today's podcast topic is going to be listening to music. And as we've talked, honestly, listening to music can really help. But like,
correctly.
Exactly. You have to listen to it correctly. And I just want to emphasize that it's not enough. Just because you like use one coping mechanism doesn't mean that you shouldn't be using others. Like music with journaling and some exercise is a really good way to keep your mental health from deteriorating.
Yeah, I think we can like end it thinking as music as like a tool to help us maybe get motivated to do other things that will help us.
I have an analogy for it. It's like it's a tool in the toolbox, but it's not the whole toolbox.
So true.
Oh my god.
That's a good one.
And it's like, again, it's not gonna like, solve all the problems. It's not gonna fit for every problem.
And every single person's solution, if they are using music, will sound different.
Yeah, it will. And like just because, and sometimes music, I know like for us three, music has been like a big thing. There are people who music doesn't really affect that way. And I mean, I don't get it, but there are people like that, and that's not my place to judge. If that's not, hey, maybe look into it. You never know. Maybe piano music will help calm you down.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. Hope to see you guys next week. Sorry for the late episode, but see you. Bye.
Bye.